Hello everybody, it's Wendy and today I am here with our monthly jewelry collaboration challenge. This is hosted by Pirate Pretties Jewelry, that is Angela, and for every month she has picked a color, a metal type, and a theme or fun element, and we're making jewelry. We're all the way down to obviously June. So the color for this month is purple. We could use gold or bronze, make earrings or a keychain, or both. It's totally up to you. And we can use chip beads and charms. So, this is what I've come up with for this month. There's no charms on it, but this is a good way to use up your chip beads. So this is a pair of earrings, or it's going to be a pair. We're going to make the other one. It's kind of, I call it the grapevine earrings because it's full at the top and it kind of flows down to a point at the bottom and it looks like a bunch of grapes. But they're very, very pretty. We've got some sparkly rondelles on here. We've got some Preciosa pieces on here, and so it has a lot of sparkle, a lot of bling, and when I wear these I get a lot of compliments. People ask about them because they're different. So we're going to make the other one to this one, and so let me tell you what you are going to need. You're going to need some small chips or small beads or chips. So, I mean, you can use chips on this. I like the chips because I feel like it, number one, I don't use chips on a lot of things, so it gives me a way to use up some chips. But it also just gives it a very organic, like, it's random, not uniform. I just think it turns out really pretty with the chips. So, here's what we got. Now, I've already made a bunch of these dangles, but I'm going to show you. So I kept two out, and I'm going to show you how to do them with a one-step looper and how to do it without a one-step looper, okay? Because if you have a one-step looper, I'm not a fan of the one-step looper. I've said that in my videos before because I just feel like it leaves your loops open. So, like, here's a good example. Look at that, open. It's very open. And you have to go in and close it. And some people say, well, you close them anyway, but no, not necessarily. Um, but anyway, I don't know. I feel like, and they're far from the bead, like this one, they're pretty far away from the bead. It's not my favorite way to do it. I'd rather do them by hand. But when you're making this many, so this doubled to that, and I don't know how many this even is, I just made a bunch. Then it definitely is helpful for making large quantities. Okay, so you're going to need some chips. You're going to need some sparkly little beads for the ends. Like I said, this is Preciosa Tanzanite AB Rondelle. And then I've got some little, I don't even know what these are, just some other little rondelles that were in my stash. There they are. Okay, so let me scoot this down a little. Okay. All right, now we've got our ear hook, our fish hook ear wire. We've got a jump ring. This is a 6mm. And I've got some Rolo chain. I do not know. Don't ask me in the comments because I don't know the size of these links. I'd say they are 4mm. They are a little bit smaller than this. So I'd say they're 4mm. But you can use any chain that you have that you can fit your little dangles through. And we're not even going to use jump rings on the dangles. We're just going to put the dangles directly on the chain. So any chain you have that your dangles will fit through, you can use, okay? And you can even use jump rings if you want. Like if you have a chain that's really small and you need the thin jump ring on there, then go for it. So this right now I've got at a little over 1.5 inches, okay? You can make it as long or as short as you desire. I like a lot of bling and long, so I'm a big statement sort of jewelry girl, so I wanted mine to be kind of long. These, let me see what it turns out as by the time, including your ear hook, including the ear wire, we're looking at 2.5 inches. So it's not huge. I mean, it's, I do 5-inch earrings at work. So, this is little compared to that. But I think they turn out really pretty. All right. So all we're going to do is we're going to make a bunch of dangles. So let me show you how I did that. I took my eye pins, you're going to need, or head pins, you're going to need head pins. Sorry, I forgot to say that. So here's the one-step looper. This is it. This one makes the 1.5 millimeter loop. I think there are different sizes. This is the only one I have. Okay. So what I did is I made up a bunch of these first. I just took my rondelles, my chips, and put them on head pins and laid them aside. So it's a little bit quicker, I think, to do it that way. And then you're just going to take this and stick it in here. And it comes out this hole at the top right here. If you can see, there's a hole there. Okay, and I've got it down pretty close to my bead. You have to be careful because it will crack your crystal, but if you put it up very far, it leaves a big space, and I don't like that. And then you just press it, and then I tip this back a little to give it the fish hook look, and there it is. And that's probably one of the best loops I've ever made with this thing. Still, it's open a little bit, but, you know, the length there isn't too bad. So there it is, the loop made with the one-step looper. Okay, just set that aside. Now I'm going to make this loop by hand in case you don't have a one-step looper and you would like to know how to do a regular loop by hand. So I'm just going to take it. I'm going to bend, using my chain nose pliers, I'm going to bend this wire at a 90-degree angle. Now, the sharper your angle, the better your loop's going to look, okay? If you've got this just barely bent coming up here, it's not going to look very good. So I recommend you want to do a pretty sharp angle in there. You want to come in here and cut, and you will learn as time goes by, and you do this a lot, you will learn how far to cut this, okay? I don't like huge loops, so I tend to cut my chain, sorry, I bumped the camera. I tend to cut my wire here just a little shorter than maybe other people would. I don't like huge loops. In fact, this is a tad bit. I'm going to trim it just a little bit more. There we go. And now you're just going to take your chain nose pliers, come in and grab it, and roll this back. Okay? And there's my loop. So that's how you can make it if you don't have the one-step looper, but you're going to need quite a few of them. And like I said, I don't know how many are here, and I don't know how many are on here. I just started putting them on and finished when I liked the way it looked. Okay. But one thing you definitely do want to do before you start hanging these on, and trust me on this, it will make your life much easier because trying to hang on to that thing is really hard. So this thing right here, when you're making it. So take your ear wire and go ahead and put it on first. Just like that. Now, let me look at this real quick. Did I do that? I did. Actually, it looks like, no. Yes, okay. I'm sorry. Let's take this off, and I'm going to show you what I did here. I thought I wasn't thinking of what I did yesterday, because you can just hang it right on the top there, and that's just fine. But what I did is I hung a jump ring on this first loop. And the reason I did that is because the top of this earring needs to be really, really full and fluffy. If it isn't, you're not going to get that effect of it tapering down, which is what you want. So I hung a jump ring on here because this jump ring was thinner and a little bit bigger, and I was able to hang a bunch of dangles from it, which is what we're going to do. So redo that. Hook your jump ring on the top and then put your fish hook on that. So here's what you've got. You got your fish hook, your jump ring, and then your chain, okay? And then all we're going to do is start taking these dangles and hanging them on here. So you just want to open it up and put it right on here and then close it up. Now be careful because these chips, you know, they can be kind of fragile, and you don't want to chip them or break them. So just be really careful when you're opening and closing your rings here, that you just do it carefully. Okay, so I'm going to take several of these guys, and hang them on this top jump ring. I'm just going to put probably 3, 4, I don't know how many. Well, that one latched into this. If it latches in on one of these, I'm just going to, well, it fell off anyway. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's been a day, and I feel like I'm catching a cold or something. I don't know. I'm kind of congested, and my head feels kind of stuffy, so I'm really probably need to go take some zinc or something like that. But it could just be allergies. I don't know. But anyway, I'm not feeling the super greatest today. Alright, so let's go ahead and just attach all these on. Whoops. I'm just going to show you how I do a few of these, and then I'll leave you to, I'm not going to sit on camera and attach 50 dangles in front of you, but I do want you to get the general idea of, so I'm attaching several to this very top row, and I'm making sure that the ones that I picked to put on the top, they don't have a whole lot of length on the, you want some with a little bit, but I would, if I were you, if you have some that are kind of a longer length here and some that are a shorter length, and by that, what I mean by that is the length from your bead to the loop, to your loop. So, like if the one-step looper made one with an extra long space between your loop and your chip, then I would not necessarily use that on the top layer. You can, but it's going to show a little bit, and it's easier, it looks better if you use the shorter ones at the top. I hope that makes sense. So if you can see, like this one, there's a huge length between my bead and the loop. This one, there's not. So I would put this one on the top versus this one, just so you don't have that big, long wire showing, because when we get down in here, they're going to be so clustered up that on the lower levels, you won't really be able to see that. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to make sense today, but it's not working out for me so great. Okay, let's go ahead and put this on. I felt pretty good when I woke up this morning, but now I'm kind of like, I mean, I've done things like I changed the sheets. I've got the comforter in the washer. I did the dishes downstairs. I've started some earrings for my boss. I mean, I've done plenty of things today, and now I feel kind of run down for some reason. Okay. So now I've got several on my top. So it's easier now if you turn this thing upside down and hold it by the bottom piece. And I'm just going to, on this first link, I'm going to put a couple. Okay, on the next link down from your jump ring where you hung your first 5 or 6. Okay, and just make sure they're closed up really good, because like I said, that one-step looper tends to leave them open. And now I'm just hanging a couple on the second link down. And let's see. And I do try to turn this too and get some of them on one side and some of them on the other. Because if you put them all just on one side, and it does make a difference. If you put them all on one side, your earring's going to be kind of one-sided. You're going to have bare spots. So try to go around, and do one on one side of the link and one on the other side of the link of your chain when you're hanging these. Alright, there's another one. Now let's take a look at it. Okay, so as you can see, it's pretty full up here at the top. Let's compare it to this one. So yeah, this one's more full. We're going to add some more. I want to make it pretty much the same, if I can, and it won't be exact. I didn't count how many I put on there. I just hung them on, and we're not going to count them. We're just going to make sure that one side looks pretty much as full as the other side does. So here I am trying to get this one on. Really kind of want it to go on this side. There we go. And it does get a little difficult, I'm just going to hang it. Is it hooking on to... Hold on, guys. Let me pick this up again. Like I said, it's good if you put this ear wire on. It makes it a whole lot easier. There we go. Close this up. There we go. Okay. So that added a little more. Okay. So now I'm just going to go on down. I may stick this one on the top too, just for, yeah, I'm going to put it right here. I'm actually hooking this one around the ear wire loop. You can do it however you want to do it. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that adds some fullness. Okay. All right, so now we're just going to go on down. I've put a couple on that first loop, first rung of my chain. Now I'm going to come on down. And what I'm going to start doing now is just kind of tapering it out. So I still need there to be quite a bit up in here. So I'm going to come down to this link, put one on. And then let's come down. Let's look here and see. I'm going to add another one on this link right here. If I can. It does get pretty hard after. It does get pretty hard when you have 2 or 3 on there already to get another one on. So let's come down here and see. And what I do is I just hang a bunch on. I keep coming down a little bit more and a little bit more, and then I just hold it up and look at it. Here I said I wasn't going to hang all these on while I'm on camera, but I probably am, because it's kind of important to show you the process of how I get it to taper down. Okay, so if you can see here, it's very full at the top. It's very full up here at the top, and then it's kind of tapering down. So it almost goes in a triangle shape just a little bit, if you can tell on this one. And that's what we're aiming for. We want to have that kind of triangle shape. So I'm going to take another one. And don't worry about getting them all perfect right at first, because you can go back and fill in little spots. You know, if there's a bare spot, you can go back and fill it in with after you get the main body of your earring down. Okay, so I'm going to come down another link. And I'm just going to hang one right here. And basically what you're going to do is try to hang one on every link or every other link. So this one, there's pretty much one on every link until we get about 3 from the bottom. And then I left a few blank because I wanted this to dangle down quite a bit below the rest of them. So it looks like it comes down to a point there. Okay, so you're pretty much going to put one on every link of chain till you get to about right here. And then you're just, and we can go ahead and hang the bottom one. Let's see. What's the bottom one look like on here? I might try to, it's got, let's see, this looks like it would be pretty similar to that other one. So let's go ahead and just hang this one on the bottom. Whoops. And that kind of gives you your ending point, so you can see now how you want it to taper down. Let me hold these up and make sure that they are, oh, that one's longer than that one. Oh, quite a bit longer. Okay, let me take a couple links off. I don't know why that's happening. So they were the same, I thought, but let me take a couple links off. So that's important to do. Make sure you measure and make sure that they're even as you're hanging them. Let's see, did I get it? I started to, these are really hard to open. These links are on this chain, and they're hard to cut through, so unless you have like wire cutters that are not meant for jewelry, that are meant for, like, you know, hard things like wire. Oh, okay, it did come off. Here it is. All right, good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to hang it from the bottom on here. And then I'll measure it again and make sure that it's, so let's hold these two up together. You just want to get your ear wires kind of even there. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, I don't know why he had extra links that he didn't need, but all right, so here's what we've got. Now we're just going to start, we're just going to fill in all the way down. So I'm going to put, and I'm trying to, like I said, alternate sides. So if you look at this, you can see this side right here needs some fill in. It's looking a little bare. So I'm just going to go ahead and put one on here. Okay. Hold it up and look at it. It's pretty important that you hold it up and look at it in between each little guy that you put on, just so you can see where you're at. I'm going to put this one on this ring. Okay. I hope I have enough. Hope I have enough little dangles. I don't really want to have to make more. Okay, so let me take a look at this. Alright, so here's what we've got. I really feel like it needs some more at the top. It's not quite full enough up here. So let me just try to add this one on. It's really important that your top be really full, and just because it's going to give it that triangle shape. Okay, that's a little better. I'm going to add a couple more in like underneath here on like the second rung if I can, or the second, I keep wanting to call these rungs, the second link. Yeah, let's go ahead and put this one right here. And you can even hang them from each other. Like if you need to hang one from the hook part on one instead of onto the jump ring, you can. I think I can get this on the jump ring though if I can get it open good enough. And if you're hearing Chris, that's Chris downstairs talking to the cat. He has this weird way that he talks to the animals. And it's loud sometimes. Okay. Alright, I'm having issues here, so. And it doesn't matter if I close. So there the pets are. They're not used to me being up here this late at night. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. They're used to just coming up here, laying down on their little beds and going to sleep. And so I come up here and turn all the lights on and they're like, what the heck? So yeah, this is where they sleep. They got their little beds over there and they sleep together every night on their little beds. Sadie's steadfastly ignoring me. Oh, look, she's yawning. She's tired. The cat's like, I'm not even going to stay. I'm not even going to look at you. Yeah, I came up here to the computer, and normally they go to bed about 10 o'clock at night, and they're in bed until the morning, so they don't know what to think about me being up here right now. Alright, Sadie yawned real big. Night-night, guys.